Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Gifted and Insane. I had to come to you guys right now with this one because I was inspired by someone I was coaching, and they are going through something just like we all are. Part of it was an internal battle. I believe they know who I'm talking about out there. I'm aiding them in their journey as people aid me in my journey to get through that, to get through the storm, to get where they need to be. Because having turmoil between the ears basically sucks. So the road to forgiveness starts with you. It starts within us. It begins there. And I'm not only talking about forgiving people that have done you wrong or forgiving people that you really know messed something up for you or really pissed you off or something like that. We have to learn to forgive ourselves or find a way to dig deep and figure out what we're not forgiving ourselves for. Because a lot of grudges we hold, because we know how to hold a grudge against somebody, or you can just maintain that, which I don't believe in now that I've grown and I'm a different person. I don't believe in people holding grudges against themselves, and a lot of us do it, and some of us are maintaining that, and we're doing it, and we don't really realize that. Just take a minute and think about that. What are you not forgiving yourself for? There could be many things from your past, things you said, things you didn't say, and we are reliving those moments. We're keeping those moments fresh. We're bringing those moments into our now, into our right now. And frankly, that's wrong. I'm guilty of it. And I'm pretty sure some of you guys are guilty of it and don't even realize it, because that type of stuff, holding grudges, thinking about things from the past and stewing in your own juices, basically, sitting there boiling over something that may be 2 months ago. Then that 2 months turns into 2 years. That 2 years turns into 4. 4 years turns into 8, and so on and so forth. So you're still brewing about something that happened in 2010, and it still feels relevant and tangible right now. And those situations, those people, the things that pissed you off in the first place, that made you feel like the world has wronged me or this person has wronged me, it's still fresh. And maybe the blame should be placed squarely on those people that planted the seeds of this, what's going on and what's growing in you. But trust me, those people, those things, those situations have moved on. Those things, those people, those situations should be left where they are, and that's in your past. Who's guilty of watering that seed and growing it into such a big tree now? Take a look in the mirror. We are responsible for what we maintain. We are responsible for what we cultivate and grow, even the bad stuff. So learning to forgive, especially yourself, it's essential these days. We have so much on our plates, guys, especially those of us that are in the sandwich generation, those of us who have parents to worry about and take care of, those of us who have kids to worry about and take care of, not to mention the people that we see in the mirror that, yes, must be taken care of. We are guilty of watering those seeds and growing those plants and growing them into large trees, a large shrubbery, therefore blinding our view of our way forward. We bring that stuff into right now, and trust me, I'm speaking about this because I am guilty of it. But I'm learning. I told the person that I'm coaching, make sure when we're brooding over something, when we're not forgiving ourselves over something and we're maintaining that, make sure we place the blame squarely where it belongs. And if we're not to blame for some of those things that happened to us, that occurred, or anything like that, we gotta push through and learn to let it go. So for some people, this is gonna hit and they're gonna flip it like a light switch. It's gonna go on and then turn off. Others, like me, it's a process. It's a process that we have to be willing to stick with and maintain in order for a healthier life between the ears. It's wrong of us to maintain this thing, but sometimes we don't even know that we're doing it, and we don't even know that we're wrong. So we gotta eat the elephant one bite at a time. Take it down one bite at a time. And it's progress with each and every bite that we take out of that situation. Even if and it's probably not even an elephant, if you think about it. our emotions, our feelings, our thoughts about it have probably been distorted over the amount of time that we've been brewing and burning up over the situation that's got us in the state in the first place. It's probably very exaggerated, but we need those outside voices sometimes. I said it time and time again, we need to understand that sometimes when we're in the fog, it's hard for us to realize that we're standing on the beach because we got the fog around our heads. And then those voices outside the fog tell us that we're standing on the beach. And then we start to slowly clear out that fog and then see that we're in a place of beauty. We're in a place that could be tranquil. But because we're maintaining those storm clouds over our heads, that fog around our eyes, we're blinded to the beauty that's in front of us. Even the beauty that we see in the mirror. Yeah, that goes for dudes too. That goes for us men. We can be beautiful creatures. So get past that stigma. So the road to forgiveness, it starts with us. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for the past misdeeds, or, I could have said this to this person and my life would be different now. I could have said this to, in this meeting and maybe things would change. Okay, that meeting is gone. That person may have moved on. There are millions upon millions of people here that we can have another opportunity with to grow. We still have the opportunity to continue to grow and be more and more beautiful and more educated, more smart, or experienced, which that person that you're holding grudges from, including yourself, that experience did not apply. Your experience now does not apply to that person that you were back then. You are a different person now. And change starts with the now. I can speak on that because I had problems being in the now. I had problems being right here where my feet are. There's a book on procrastination by Sam Bennett called Get It Done. One of the things I got out of it when I was reading that book was ask yourself where your feet are. Ask yourself where your feet are. If you're a shower daydreamer, or you daydream at work, or you drift off about things that had happened or things that you think are going to happen, ask yourself where your feet are. That'll help you with your focus. And then from there, go item by item. Talk to yourself in your mind. Bring yourself back and make yourself present right now. Okay, my feet are here. I'm at my desk. I'm going to type on my keyboard. I'm going to type this word on the screen. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Each and every one of those little steps it sounds elementary, but each and every one of those little steps will help you, especially if you're a chronic person that gets just lost in their imagination or gets lost in the what ifs and what could be. Each and every one of those steps will help keep you grounded. You practice that and you can stay present, because the only time that matters is right now. Change happens now. You can't go back. As much as we like to turn back the clock and wish there was a time machine, we cannot go backwards and change that time. But you can learn from that and adjust now. And those who don't adjust, they're just going to fall off, because they're not going to adjust with you. Those people back there that put you down, those people back there that planted that seed that you're not good enough, you're too heavy, you're too this, you're too stupid, all this other stuff. They're not going to adapt to you, and that makes it easier for them to fall the hell out of your lives, relatives or not relatives. Because keep in mind, families are built. Sometimes it's what you're born into, and that's what you got to deal with as a child. But as an adult, you choose who you have in your life, friends and family. You choose. Oh, he has to be here because he's known me for 20 years. They ain't got to be here. He ain't got to be here. She ain't got to be here. You may know people around this person, and that's fine. Build up your strength to be able to, if they're a person that still tears you down, you don't have to hold a grudge against them, but you ain't got to give them access to you. Jim and I are going to have something about an episode about the keys to the castle. And you are the castle. And you can't just readily give your keys away to anybody, and especially let people move into your castle and then stay there, especially if they just mistreat what's precious to you. A castle is your sanctuary. It could be your literal home, or it could be the home inside of you, inside your body. It could be inside your life. So remember that. Again, the road to forgiveness, it starts with you. And I'm not saying, forget what those people have done to you when I say forgiveness. You can remember, but you don't have to relive it. You don't have to hold that grudge. And if you take that weight off yourself and forgive what's happened and be thankful for the lessons learned from those encounters, then it makes it easy. But that don't mean you have to give those folks access to you anymore, especially if people screwed you over. So again, I'm not saying that. But the forgiveness that you need to have for that person you see in the mirror, that is paramount. Over anybody else that done you wrong. You cannot sit there and hold a grudge to that special person you see in the mirror. And yes, you are a special person to you. You should be a special person to you. That little kid that's crying out inside of you, you have to be the caretaker of that little kid and help them and protect them. Nurture them. It's a practice, guys. It's a practice. It's something that, again, for some people, it'll flip on like a light switch. For other people, like yours truly, it's gradual. It's learned over time. And it's enlightening. It's enlightening. And part of, your, what do they call them? Come to Jesus moments. It's going to happen when you do work in the mirror. They have books on doing work in the mirror with yourself. Sounds silly to some people. It's going to feel crazy to some people when they do it. I got to brush up on mine, but when I reconciled with that person I saw in the mirror, it was a feeling like I can't even describe to you. You're just going to have to do it yourself. This all stems from the other day. I had to check in with myself. And understand that I was worthy to check in with, that I am an authority figure for me to check in with, because as our parents teach us, as we move along, we have to eventually learn how to parent ourselves, and that comes at any age. And I know I was talking to someone about how we pull this arbitrary age of 18 out of our butts and act as if we're supposed to know everything we need to know at 18, and you beyond that, you're babying somebody. You're not letting them leave the nest, or you're not letting them do that. You know what? We're being taught to throw our kids to the wolves. But guess what? During those times, because there are some good parents, good moms and dads out there that are getting these kids set and setting them up with solid personalities that aren't reliant on things and social media and electronics. They're just strong people from the inside, and they're being set up, but still they have so much to learn at 18 and beyond. When you get middle age, you look back and you see things that you were doing in your 20s, you're like, dang, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Because in my opinion, not putting them down, but people that are in their early 20s, 20 on, they just go from 19 to 20. So early 20s is still like, older teenagers. They have freedoms to do certain things. They have independence. They have a certain level of knowledge and experience. But there is still things that they have to learn. There's still things that they should be able to talk to their parents about without feeling like they're, going to be shamed for asking that at that age. So we got to think about that stuff too. But I checked in with myself the other day, and when I did, which I'm still working on, establish myself as an authority figure to check in on, I had to hold myself accountable for my actions. And that means that I have to answer to that person in the mirror. And people are like, oh, you're talking to yourself. We do all the time with our thoughts and with our voices. Just make sure we have the right voices in our minds, okay? Make sure that we talk to each other, or talk to ourselves, the way that we're supposed to, in that nurturing way, like nurturing a little kid. If you can approach that like you're teaching a young person something, you wouldn't talk to them like they're stupid if they don't know anything. They're just underexposed. They're just, they don't have as many experiences as we do. And sometimes the little kids that reside in us need their hands held, need to be walked through certain things, and that's okay until they're ready to fly on certain things. So part of that check-in is telling yourself the truth, and part of telling yourself the truth on this path to forgiveness is telling yourself that this is not my fault that these things happen, and I forgive you for these things. I forgive you for all this other stuff. I'm telling you that the emotional impact is going to be crazy. I'd like to hear from you guys and hear how, if you try to do something like this, I'd like to know how it impacts you, because I was impacted the first time I did this in a tremendous way, and I'd like for people to have that emotional revolution with themselves. So that's one of the main reasons why I'm even doing this one. So anyway, like I said, and like I always say, you guys hit me up where you can be reached at giftedandinsane@gmail.com, or you can leave a comment. We're on YouTube now. You can look us up on Gifted and Insane on YouTube. You can check out our episodes there. Leave your comments there. If you wish, we can read your comments on the podcast. We can make you anonymous. We can do first name, first initial of your last names, whatever. Just let us know what you think. Let us know if you got something to expand. We're all in this world together, and again, we don't know everything on this end, so that's why we're here. We're trying to get people to grow, and move forward and build forward, which is more important. You got to move forward, but you got to build forward. And in the process of building forward, understand that you are not who you were last year, year before, 10 years ago. So forgive yourself, guys. Get in that mirror, do that work, or just lay on your back, listen to some good music or some meditation music. Just get that work done, and you'll be lighter for it. I appreciate you guys listening. Let me know how this touches you. Let me know if it impacts you. Left the email address earlier. I'm looking to connect to you guys. So just in the meantime, just stay up and be safe as always. You guys, this is Marzette. I will talk to you guys soon. All right. Peace. This has been another episode of The Gifted and Insane. Please remember to like, follow, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Also, feel free to leave a comment. We would love to hear from you guys. Until then, stay up and be safe as always. Peace.